My name is Alan Laws. I'm with Direct Democracy Ireland, standing in the Meath West constituency. The headlines of your papers are being covered with issues of crime, rural crime, urban crime figures going up, Garda stations closing, and the numbers of Gardai being reduced by the last two governments. The issue of crime is top of the agenda for a lot of people, especially people living in rural areas. People that are feeling afraid in their own homes and feeling isolated because there's no Garda stations around them. What Direct Democracy is putting forward here is a plan on how to deal with that. The other parties have a plan as well, and it's to do with promises. Promises of what they can do in a few months' time, 16 months' time, because when they promise more numbers of Gardaí, they take time to train. What Direct Democracy is offering you is something that would improve the police service or the Garda service tomorrow morning. The Garda service have Garda reserves working with them, and the Garda reserves was established by Michael McDowell in a rushed fashion. He introduced the Garda reserves without the agreement with the Garda Representative Association. The full-time Gardaí have never accepted the Garda reserves, because as such the Garda reserves is job bridge for guards, and you can't blame the full-time guards, because you have guys offering their services to work for nothing alongside their fully paid colleagues. That threatens their fully paid colleagues. So you can't blame the Gardaí for not cooperating fully with them. So since they've been introduced, it's not really worked. The system has not worked. There's now 1,500 Garda reserves approximately. Now what you could do with them is, what people don't know, if your father, mother, daughter, brother, sister, son are members of the reserve, you need to tell them that they're actually not covered by insurance and they're not covered legally. And what I mean by that is, if they're injured on the job, their injuries are not really covered. If they have to miss time out of work because they're injured on the job, sick pay is not paid for them. And also, if they're legally challenged about some part of their job, if someone got injured in the course of their duty, a full-time guard would have legal protection in the form of barristers, solicitors representing him. He's covered by the state or by the GRA. But a Garda reserve is not covered by anybody. So they're partially trained, have very little powers, and they're not actually covered legally or by insurance. So as such, they should actually be returned to the stations. And what we could do, and what Direct Democracy is suggesting, is that the Garda Reserve, the 1,500 members that's there approximately, should be returned to the station to do the mundane tasks that the full-time, fully trained, fully experienced guards are doing now. Stamping passports, clerical duties, things like that. Then we would free up immediately tomorrow morning, with no extra cost to the taxpayer, we would free up full-time, fully experienced guards to reassure the public, to reassure people living in rural areas that there's actually more guards in the streets, more guards in the cars that would protect and serve us. So that's what we're suggesting. The Garda Reserve should be phased out over a time, because it's not right having a job bridge scheme for guards. They should be phased out, but they also, for their good faith in volunteering to serve their communities, should get credits. When they work for the Garda Reserve, they should get credits towards applying for a full-time job with the Gardaí. They don't at the moment. They're used, abused and thrown out. That's what should happen with them, and we should look at phasing them out, and we should look at filling the mundane jobs in the Garda stations with clerical officers, which would be cost a lot less for the taxpayer than a full-time Gardaí. But we should also use in offices the likes of radio control officers and all the rest. Could be retired Gardaí could do them jobs as well. So there is a plan there, and it's held by Direct Democracy for a better police service to keep you safe. So vote for the Direct Democracy candidate.